Welcome travellers and patrons for the first time, but not the last time, to the Tavern Kitchen. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a pig on a tuber. Now, you're going to need a couple of things for this. You're going to want some real big russet potatoes. This is going to make your work a little bit easier as far as peeling, because you'll have to peel fewer of them. We'll get back to these in a minute. Next, you're going to want some thin sliced pork chop. You can do it thicker if you like, but then you're going to have to adjust the recipe. So you're going to want some garlic salt or garlic powder, up to you. And of course you're going to want some Worcestershire sauce, and I use Dairy-Gold butter. And the absolute last thing you're going to want to get is some aluminum foil. Now, I use organic aluminum foil so that both my food and other people know that I am better than them. And I like this brand in particular because it's called If You Care, which is as condescending as I like to be when I cook with my food. Now you're going to want to take those potatoes and get them nice and clean. I suggest using warm water, but some people like to wash the potatoes in cold water. Just give them a nice good scrub and get all the dirt off. Now the next thing that you want to do is you want to take these two that are about the same size and you want to score them right along the sides. Don't go in deeper than about ½ inch, because we are going to use that for later. This guy we're going to be using the whole potato to mash up and make the mashies. These guys we're going to do something special with. Stick with me. Take your aluminum foil, roll out 2 equally sized pieces for the potatoes and 1 of about the same size for your pork for later. We don't like to waste time. Next, you're going to take these two and you're going to wrap them very lightly. Make sure that you're not creasing the foil too much, because we are going to use this foil again later. Next, we're going to take our 2 lightly foiled potatoes and we're going to put them inside of our air fryer. Now you can do this in an oven, because an air fryer is essentially just a convection oven, but the time is going to have to be adjusted. With a typical oven, you're going to want to leave these in for about 10 to 15 minutes, whereas with an air fryer you're going to want to put it on at 375 for exactly 15 minutes. And don't worry about that other potato, we're going to get him a nice little hot bath going. Next, we're going to prep our pork. You want to lay out 3 strips on the bare foil, just like so, and then just put a dash of garlic salt right there on top. Then we're going to curl up the sides here. Pinch them off so that they stay folded. Make ourselves a nice little box. Now, you might be asking yourself, what's the point of that, Castle? Well, the point of that, quite simply, is to keep the liquid in, because now we're going to take our Worcestershire sauce and we're gonna dash it on the pork, and we're gonna let it soak on down through everything, and we're gonna leave this in the fridge for 20 minutes. Now, I love to cook. It's been a part of my family and it's been a part of our culture for ages, but I want to show people how simple it is to really cook good meals at home. Just about everything that I've got here cost me maybe $10, and this is enough to feed 4 people. And if you don't do it for 4 people, you can ration this out to 2, maybe even 3 days worth of meals. And everything that I'm cooking with is stuff that you should have in just about any apartment or home. I'm not going to use an actual stove for this. I'm going to use a hot plate. Hot plates you can pick up on Amazon for about $40 or $50, and you can pick up a small air fryer for around $100. So if you don't have the facilities to cook at home, you can put in a little bit of an investment and you can start making healthy, wholesome meals by yourself at home. Alright, let's get our other potato friend going. We're going to put him in the pot and we're going to fill him up with just enough water to get up over his skin. Alright, once you've got him in the bath, you're going to crank him all the way up to maximum. And with a hot plate, this is going to take a little bit longer than a traditional stove, but you should have it at a full boil by the time the other potatoes come out of the air fryer, and you'll be ready to make everything all together. Alright, that bad boy is nice and steamy. I think she's ready. First things first, let's get down a cutting board. Hot potato. Hot potato. You see the score that we did gives us a nice little all the way around on the potato there. And that is where we're going to cut them. with this. This is my ceremonial prep knife. I use it in just about every single meal that I prepare. Save the foil, we're going to use that later. Put that bad boy up on its end. Careful, she's hot. Next, you're going to want to score some lines right into the middle here. Make this bad boy easy to scoop out. With a spoon, no less. Alright, boys and girls, let's scoop. Now, the potato is still going to be a little bit raw. That's fine, because you're going to rebake these in a little bit. So you want there to be enough raw left in the meat so that that final bit of raw cooks out as you're cooking it the second time. These are essentially twice baked potatoes. These go real nice with a nice thin pork chop. Now here's the fun one, because we scored this properly, the skin should come right off. Oh, look at her. She's pretty. Now that she's all undressed, I was going to use a potato masher, but what I thought, what is this, a Hilton? No, most of you probably don't have a potato masher at home, but you definitely have a fork. So we're going to go in here, and we're just going to break it apart, just like that. While we got them out, I'm going to take a nice little chunk of butter. I'm going to mash that right there into the middle. I'm going to take our fine grained garlic salt. There. I'm just going to sprinkle it right there on top. We don't want too much in here, because we're going to get a lot of salt from the cheese when we put that on top. But we want just enough that we can taste it in the potatoes. Alright, we're going to put this back in the pot, and then we're going to move on to the pork. Alright, potatoes are almost done, so let's get our pan nice and lubed up. There we go. And then we just put the pork in one slice at a time. You're going to get a nice sear on the outside of each one of these bad boys. You're going to cover it, and then once it's been on for about, we'll say about 5 minutes or so, you're going to take it back off, flip it, pour your excess sauce and seasoning over the top, and you will be all good to go. If you're making a whole Yule dinner, these should feed an entire family if you should so fancy. And if you live in the woods, they'll even feed an entire family of bears. Right, meat's on. Let's put her back under the covers, and I'll be back when they're all done, ready to go. So you're going to fill each one of the tubes with a nice thick mashed potato, and then you're going to trim off. I like to use this nice sharp white cheddar, and you're going to plant that right on top of the tub. And that's all there is, friends. You just take the pig and you put it on the tuber. That's it. You can scale this up if you want to. If you're cooking for a larger family, you can put the whole pork roast inside of aluminum foil, do it in the oven. Any of those things are possible. I'll post the full recipe over on my website and on the Tavern Pinterest page. Happy Yule, my friends, and happy feasting. Stay bloodthirsty. All hail.